Your very listening, your very being is what I'm talking about. Because it is not the ego. That very listening is the totality, is the oneness. It is all that there is. Just feel out your own awareness right now. Just feel it. You're aware. Where does it begin? You can say, well, it begins from this. Yes, you can say that, from this vantage point, from this field of experience. Yes, that is the miracle, you see. Each one of us experiencing the same awareness from our own seeming vantage point. This is the grace, this is the beauty that we've been given, the miracle, you see. And so, but where does it begin, really? It's always there. Where does it end? Never. Where is its edge? There's no edge. Where is the boundary line? So it is a total thing. It is complete. And because it is complete, when you say you, there isn't anyone that you point to which is not you. And then we begin to understand what love is. We begin to understand what connection is, what belonging is. You see? And then all the qualities that we crave, peace, happiness, joy, fulfillment, all are expressions of this knowing that all there is you. And you can never die because it was never born. That's another mind blower, you see? And you is the comforter. Now this email from this man was saying, when I want to meet my guru, hey, gurus do take on a physical form, yeah. There are many, because when they embody the I am, the awakened, the totally enlightened being, just like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, is, because I cannot say he was, you know, he's a being that never ends. So when I can say that he achieved that ultimate state of being, there was no ego in the man. So even closeness to him or his nearness brought healing. You see? That was his power. But then if people say, well, you know, Bhagavan, you appeared to me in my dream. He says, I didn't do anything. I just hear. You see? When he was dying, and he was as radiant as ever in his last moments, and he gave himself totally and even set up to give grace to the people around him, and he was dying. And in those very moments they said, please don't leave us. And he says, where can I go? I'm always here. I am. Some understood, some didn't. Another one. Thoughts of insecurity haunt me and have spoiled most of my relationships. What can I do? Did you know that thoughts have no meaning except the meaning you give them? Thoughts absolutely have no meaning except the meaning that you personally give them. Now you might say, but it was true. It did happen to me when I was brought up that way. It did happen. I had those experiences. We're talking history here. We're talking past. What about here? Now. You mean to tell me that that is more real than here? But the moment you remember the past, even for 1 second, the moment is gone. You've blocked it totally, and that's called, not only called suffering, but that's called dysfunction, mental illness. When I was in Toronto, I was very, very interested. I was interested in psychology, as I've said many times. And one of the things I was interested in is what drives people insane? What is insanity? I didn't know what insanity was. Oh, I heard a lot of mumbo jumbo from psychiatrists, and like I said, I studied psychology, but I wanted to really know in a very simple way what causes insanity. And then I discovered it. Insanity is making things personal. And when you are 100% personal, you're insane. And to the extent that the personal is forgotten, you are love. You are radiance. You see? And that's the simplicity of it. And I saw they were talking to themselves. They lived in their own world, in this mental home, you know. They were doing all kinds of crazy things. Some of them were very sweet. They were so sweet, you know. I liked them better than I did the psychiatrist who were taking care of them. But the truth is that they created their own world. Their thoughts became so real to them, and they gave them their own meaning, that when you take a thought and you become the thinker of that thought, like we discussed last week, then what happens is that whatever you become the thinker of is your reality. You see? And you live from that reality. So, that's insanity. Question. I'm afraid of failing, and so I'm afraid to try. And when I try, I keep thinking of failure, fear of failure. What is failure? What is the fear of failure? Or failure itself? And it's very, very common. It is a thought. But what kind of thought?
Judgment.
Okay, it's a judgment. What kind of judgment?
It's fear. Fear of not being enough, not being.
And what happens when you feel you're not being enough?
You're not.
You want to win, isn't it? You want to win, you want to succeed. And wanting to win and wanting to succeed brings fear of failure.
Fear of not meeting your own expectations.
Yes, fear of not meeting your own expectations. Therefore, those very expectations create the failure syndrome.
So we're
You see?
filled with duality.
Filled with duality. You see? The need to win creates the need to lose. But because of the duality, you see? But we do not realize that duality, every effect has an opposite. Everything has an opposite. So if you want love, if you need love, you're going to suffer fear of rejection, fear of not being wanted. Fear, you see? And all the time you're telling yourself, I need love, I want love because I am not love. Of course you don't say I am not love. I don't have it enough.